Hi, I'm Rachel and welcome to Oxheart Gardening. Today I'm doing the 14 questions about you tag challenge, I guess. I was tagged by Mr. Scott Head over at Black Gumbo Southern Gardening, and basically the challenge is to answer 14 questions about yourself. I've got the list of questions I'm supposed to answer right here. And I actually particularly like this challenge, not because I'm just like, oh, I want to tell you guys everything about me, but because I think it's really important to kind of maintain a sense of humanity. I don't ever want to be like so unrelatable that you guys look at what I'm doing and you're like, oh my god, I could never do that. She's just like so good at everything, which is totally not true. And I think that like through getting to know me better, you can remember that I am just a normal person like you, and anything I can do, you can definitely do. So let's go ahead and start with question number one. Question number one is what is your name and who named you? My name is Rachel Elizabeth Andorfer. A lot of people have trouble pronouncing my last name. Actually, it's German, and I've been told it means man from a little city, but don't quote me on that. It's just what my family tells me. And I guess my parents named me together. I've been told I was named after the Rachel in the Bible, and then Elizabeth comes from my grandmother, who is also Elizabeth on my mom's side. And I don't think my parents realized at the time that Rachel Elizabeth would be such a common first middle name combination, because as I was growing up, it seemed like everybody named Rachel had the middle name Elizabeth. So it's a pretty common name. Andorfer is not so common. It is like basically the only Andorfers in the world are the people related to me. I've never met an Andorfer who wasn't related to me. And there's this thing online where you can look up how many people have the same last name as you, and like it'll show you on a map where they live if their information is public. And it's basically just us. It's just us. Question number two is, how many siblings do you have? I have one sibling. It is a little sister. She is, oh gosh, I think she's 25 now. Her name is Molly, and she does the music for my channel. Actually, she's a pretty talented musician. She went to school for music education, and now she's like kind of in between jobs because of, you know, the pandemic and everything. She was working as a youth minister for Catholic Church up in North Carolina, and then she was working for a preschool, but honestly, she's like the best human being in the whole world. I mean, Molly, if you're watching this, I love you so much. You're the best, and thank you for doing the music for this channel. I think everybody really appreciates it, and I've gotten compliments actually in some of the comments on your voice, so yeah, keep doing that. Question number three, were you close with your cousins growing up? I would say not really. No, I mean, we saw them, but the family was so spread out. I have family all the way from California to this coast, right? And we've got some in Texas, some up north in Indiana, and so we didn't really see each other much. I maybe saw my mom's side of the family more, which is just two cousins. And then my dad's side of the family, we have, I don't know, last time I counted it was 13 cousins, but yeah, it's at least 13 cousins. And yeah, I wouldn't say we were super close just because we never really got to see each other, but now that we're older, some of us at least have had the chance to connect a little better, and I think that that's really nice. Alright, so question 4, do you or did you have a special bond with your grandparents? Again, the family was really spread out. Grandparents lived South Texas, still live South Texas, right near Houston, and my dad's parents lived up north in Indiana, and right now I only have my grandmother from that side still alive. But honestly, it's pretty great that I still have 3 grandparents left at this age. My one grandma lives in Florida now, and I get to see her from time to time, but I feel like I didn't get a chance to really get to know her growing up. And then grandparents on my mom's side, I've actually recently been able to talk to them a lot more. So I feel like we are building more of that connection now that I didn't really have as a kid. Question number 5 asks, did you enjoy high school? I mean, I guess. I didn't hate high school. The school part, I was good at that. I guess like the whatever formula of public school just worked for me. I was good at taking the tests, and that subsequently made me feel like I was good at everything. Yeah, funny story. So the reason I chose my major in college was because I thought that I was the smartest kid ever, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, so I chose the hardest major I could think of, which was physics. And then I went and got that degree, and long story short, I'm obviously not using that degree. So yeah, I enjoyed high school, I guess, because I was good at it. I had some good friends. We're not really friends anymore. I moved halfway through high school anyway from Texas. We grew up in North Texas. So I didn't have a chance to make some really strong connections with the people here in South Carolina. Let's see. Question 6 says, what are your hobbies? Well, obviously I have gardening. That has become a major hobby for me. But also, in addition to that, I really like dancing. I'll go out swing dancing, blues dancing. I've learned stuff like Lindy Hop, Charleston, and that's really fun. You meet a lot of people dancing. They tend to be pretty interesting people in all of the best ways. What else do I do? I don't know. I watch Netflix some. That's not really a hobby, though, is it? Oh, I guess you could count swimming as a hobby. I'm like kind of a mermaid. I have the full tail and fin and everything, and I like to go swim in the lake and do mermaid stuff. I guess you could call that a hobby. Alright, enough about hobbies. Question 7 says, what do you do to relieve stress? I would say mostly it's a combination of warm drink and mindfulness. Whenever I'm stressed, it's usually because I'm like worried about something, and I have to remind myself that either I can do something about it and I should go do that, or I can't do something about it, so I should just chill and let it go. Often talking to somebody about being stressed out helps me to de-stress, because it forces me to verbalize why I'm stressed out, and to like put words to all of those emotions helps me sort it out, and when I can like see it logically, it helps me calm down quite a lot. Question 8 says, who is the longest friend you have? I guess that means who have you been friends with the longest? I have 2 friends from middle school. We're not super close anymore because they're still both back in the Midwest, but I do talk to them from time to time. They are Brittany and Brittany, and this got confusing because they were both on the swim team with me. So one of them is Coville and the other one is Smiley, and the coach gave her that name because she was always smiling, and she still smiles a lot to this day. Yeah, I've known them for a really, really long time. I met them in about 6th grade. They're really great people. Let's see, question 9 says, what is your favorite movie? I have 2. When somebody asks me this question, I have 2 answers. One is Interstellar, and the other one is Inception. And I like these movies because they are kind of intense. They surprised me. I particularly like Interstellar because it's mostly scientifically accurate, except for the part at the end where he's inside a black hole. That's not really realistic, but it is cool, and I think there's a lot of cool ideas going on in both of those movies, so those are the 2 that I would say I watch over and over again and recommend to people. Question 10 along that same line is, favorite book, and I don't know if I can choose a favorite book. I mean, you know, the Harry Potter series has been like the thing that I've read the most times. Like, I think I've read the whole series something like 8 times now. But when somebody asks me, oh, what book do you recommend that I read? I do have an answer for that, and that is a book called Kill Me by Stephen White. It's a bright yellow cover, and I just thought it was a really interesting concept. It's like, if you have ever seen somebody who is in a terrible accident, like maybe they were paralyzed and now they live in a wheelchair, and thought, wow, like I'd rather be dead than live like that. That's the premise of the book. This millionaire gets a chance to set up, you know, some service for people who have a crap ton of money to kill him if something like that ever happened to him. And I won't spoil the rest for you, but it's very interesting. Question 11 is favorite thing to do on a stormy day. Honestly, I just love watching the rain and listening to the rain. Before my roommate moved out and took her wicker chairs that were right here, I like to come and sit out on this porch in the rain. The sound of it is just really relaxing. If it's like actually really stormy though, it makes me anxious, because then I'm just like, oh my god, my plants. But if it's not too windy, then I'll just sit out here and listen to the rain. Question 12 is the opposite. What do you like to do in perfect weather? And I think the answer is gardening. I also like to come and sit outside and look at my plants, and maybe sometimes my neighbors think I'm a little weird for just looking at my plants all the time. But I just really like my plants and my garden, and that's my favorite thing to do outside on a beautiful day. Question 13 is, do you prefer big cities or small towns? And I am not sure. I lived in a really rural town in North Texas. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Pampa. That's where I grew up. It's about an hour east of Amarillo. And yeah, that was pretty rural. There was one high school in the whole town, one middle school. And then my family moved here to South Carolina. We moved to Greer, which is kind of in like the Greenville-Spartanburg metropolitan area. And that's still not like a big town, right? It's suburban. So I've never really spent time living in a big city. I don't know if I would like it. I do think I want to experience it at some point, but then, like, where am I going to garden? I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to take a lot of vacations. But I definitely appreciate the aspects of both a big town and a small town. Let's see, the last question already. What is the first thing you want to do when COVID is gone or under control? And I think the first thing I want to do is have all my friends over for a party. We're going to stay up late watching movies and like making pancakes or something fun like that, sharing stories. I miss my friends so much. I haven't been seeing barely anybody lately, and so first thing I want to do is get all my friends together, remind them how important they are to me. And yeah, that's it. There are 2 people I want to tag. I think normally you're supposed to have more, but I don't really have a wide-reaching community just yet, and I was having trouble finding other people who were YouTubers and also had not yet been tagged. So I'm going to tag UT33200. They found me, they started interacting with me, and actually recommended me to their subscribers, and I am so grateful for that. The other one I'm going to tag is Little Bean. Oh my goodness, your videos make me so happy, and I definitely recommend going and checking out her channel because she has a really, really beautiful garden. Alright, well that's 14 things about me. I have completed my tag challenge. Thank you, Scott. And I will see you guys later this week for another video. So until then, I wish you happy gardening.
thank you guys for watching.